Oh, and does it rile you when you're out and you spot a scene like this? An awful case of fly tipping. The problem is now 5 times worse than it was in the 1960s, with 25 million tonnes of rubbish dumped illegally every year. Michelle Morrison has this.
This year, Liverpool is capital of culture, but the city also has another title right now that it would rather stick in the bin. There were over 1 million illegally dumped pieces of rubbish recorded last year, making it fly-tipping capital of the UK. But the problem doesn't just exist here, but also in urban and rural areas up and down the country. 25 million tonnes of litter is dropped every year. The clean-up bill for that is a massive £600 million. Yet only 1,700 people are prosecuted for dumping their unwanted stuff. From televisions to fridges, and from carpets to ovens. Pretty much everything but the kitchen sink, although I'm sure if you looked hard enough, you'd probably be able to find one of them too.
Michelle Morrison reporting there. Phil Barton joins us. He's from Keep Britain Tidy. Good morning to Phil.
Good morning. Trouble
is we don't keep Britain tidy, do we? As you've just seen there. Some outrageous examples of people just dumping whatever they don't want in their house.
It's a constant battle, and Keep Britain Tidy has been going since the 1950s. We were originally set up by the Women's Institute.
But you failed,
and the problem is still there.
Well, you failed. I mean, according to that evidence.
Our survey work shows that, generally speaking, the streets of England are unsatisfactory, and that's not good enough.
I think some of our cities, London included, in part, are an absolute disgrace. Now, why is it happening?
Well, there are 3 aspects to the whole problem of fly tipping and littering. The first one is about the management, and we do a lot of work with local authorities and other landowners about improving the way in which litter is collected and rubbish is handled. It only takes a gale to pick up some loose rubbish in a skip, for example, and it's all over the place.
Yeah, the other problem is, of course, the fast food industry, which leave their stuff out overnight, and that's an awful sight, and that stays there for quite a long time until it's collected often.
And most local authorities are working hard, but certainly there's still a lot more to do.
Doesn't seem like it when you go around Westminster, I can tell you.
Well, the other major problem that we have is actually about people's behaviour, and that applies as much to people who are employed by businesses thinking about what they're doing as they're handling waste and rubbish, and as well as the public.
Why have we changed? I mean, are we just becoming, in certain sections anyway, a nation of slobs? I mean, this kind of thing did not happen 25 years ago. People didn't just dump fridges and sofas in the middle of nowhere.
I think they did, and I think there is an element of it which is perception, which is that it's always worse. But it is a real problem, and I'm not in any sense trying to assume that it's not.
In fairness to those people who do it, couldn't they argue with some justification that it depends on where you live? Some councils charge for collecting certain amounts of rubbish, some councils don't, some councils pick up your rubbish once every week, some councils don't. I mean, there's confusion, to put it mild, isn't there?
I think, and the law is confused as well. I mean, we work extensively with the local authorities and with other land managers and businesses around trying to share good practice about how to actually deal with the public, how to provide communications.
But wouldn't a uniform policy for rubbish collection in England and Wales, at least, we don't have that sway over Scotland anymore, wouldn't that help?
It would help, but actually it's a very local problem, and what we find through all of our survey work is that the detail of the particular circumstances of a business or a street is really important. So we aim to set standards to provide training and advice, good practice. The top-down approach is important, but actually it's about people, whether they're the members of the public or the people who actually work for businesses, thinking about what they're doing, being aware of their responsibilities, and actually putting things into practice.
We wish you well. Thanks very much for being with us, Phil.